I always wanted to make this costume. Lisle von Rhuman is my ultimate favorite movie character ever, and this year was the perfect time to do it. The first thing was the necklace, and I thought I should start with the most difficult thing, the swan pendants at the bottom. I searched everywhere online, and music notes was the closest thing to the swan pendants, but that wasn't it. I was even searching for random shapes, but still wasn't it. Somehow, I came across a wire weaving tutorial on YouTube and I thought this would be the best option. I drew the shape and started watching tutorials to learn the technique. And to my luck, my cousin already had the jewelry making tools. Great start! So I went to the beads store to get beads, gems and stones and wire for my pendants. And in the area, I found this necklace I thought I could take apart and use the stones. It's wire weaving time, and this design was the closest to the swan pendant, but I still made my own pattern. This is it, the beginning of the necklace. I hope it looks good. Okay, it's looking cute actually. Now this is the part where I make my own design. Ta-da! My first pendant! After making a few, I was like, wait a minute, does it actually look like it? It sure does. Fun fact, each one of those takes me between 2 to 3 hours to make, and I ended up making 18. I made big ones, but I also had to make smaller ones. And a baby one for the center stone. One day, I wanted to eat chips and salsa. And I ran out of my Valentina, so all we had at home was botanera. And I thought, if I turn this upside down, this could be my potion bottle. So I made a drawing with my phone, just to see if it would work. I guess it will. KB told me, you need to get your hands on that clay. So my mom got me sculpting clay from the grocery store. This is not really sculpting clay, but it does the same trick. I have never sculpted anything a day in my life, but I should give it a try, I guess. After sculpting small things, I thought go big or go home, so I went for the most important part of the necklace. I think it looks alright. Being the perfectionist that I am, I wasn't quite happy with the first one, so I did a second one. I had time and I had clay. Luckily, my cousin had gold spray paint, so I painted it. I think it looks alright. I'm still not convinced. If I have time, I'll make another one later. Facebook Market was a very important part of this process. I visited a lovely lady who sells fantasy jewelry. I ended up getting these 3 things from her. I took the bracelet apart and one of the stones went into this piece. Now that I thought I had everything, I decided to build the first row of the necklace. And just in case, I decided to get these buttons from my cousin's box. Of course, I did ask her. I ended up making more rows of the necklace and I thought it was hideous. I was like, abort the plan, abort the plan. But I had already bought a lot of things, so I was like, get it together. So I put the necklace on the bed and imagined that my body was underneath. And I guess it worked. The necklace started looking great. I bought a button and I had a rhinestone, so I put it together just because I know it would look exactly like one of the pieces on her necklace. So there it is. In my mind, I think it looks fine, but somehow I still think it's not fine. So I decided to make a few changes, take out the massive black stone and replace it with 2 smaller stones until I find the right one, and I also added the button that I made. There it is, until I find a big purple stone. Anyway, I'm gonna put it aside and work on something else. I sculpted the lid and the bottom of the potion. I thought it was great, but oh no! I dropped the lid and it broke! But actually, I made a better one. Thank goodness, because I hated the other one. And let's use the gold spray paint again. Remember that salsa bottle? Well, I'm about to cut it. Voila, I have my potion and I'll work on the inside later. I bought this earring, and when I wanted to take out the horizontal stones, I actually broke it, so I got a second one. Now I had two to work with. I ended up attaching a part of the broken one to the new one, so it would cover my whole ear. So it's ready, but actually it has to be gold, so spray paint, here I come. Now it's nice and gold and ready to use. Now I have a potion, which technically is a prop. So once I went into my mom's room, looked around, and thought, maybe it's about time to pimp my grandmother's rocking chair. So I went to the fabric store to get fabric to make some cushions to transform my grandmother's rocking chair. I also got fabric for the skirt and for a red cushion. And found a necklace I could possibly use for the big purple stone. I realized that all of her eggs and balls were actually bigger than the ones I had, so I decided to sculpt them. I think they're looking good. And there they are, all of them. Well, I ended up making 2 extra ones later on. Now they're silver. I'm loving them. Since I was already sculpting, I decided to make the bowling ball pin pendants. I made 8 of them. Now my necklace has the balls, the eggs, the pins, and the big stone. I wanted to have a photo shoot, so I started looking for backgrounds, something that kind of looked like the palace she lives in. And these 2 were the better ones. I looked for days for this. I hope they work. I still can't find that purple stone, so I decided to sculpt it. I'm also using plastic from a water bottle to make it look like a real stone. I painted it with nail polish, but it looks red. Anyway, I finished it, put it in the necklace to see if it would work, and I guess it will. Now I need to find the right color. So, I'm gonna go on a tangent. It was a Sunday and my aunt sat on her glasses and she broke them. Oh no! So me and one of my cousins took the whole day to fix them. I don't know if you remember, but I posted this on my story. Back to the necklace. It's time to keep working on it. So I made a new purple stone. It's beautiful, but it's not the right shade. Huh. I decided to sculpt the centerpiece again. This time, I put all of my effort into making it look perfect. I was feeling inspired that day, so I decided to make the donut-shaped pendant. I'm loving it. At this point, I think I have mastered my sculpting skills. But I ran out of spray paint, so I gotta get to the hardware store. They're painted, but now it's time to undo the entire necklace to put them in. Now that they're in the necklace, I have to make sure that everything is in the same place as it was before. I never noticed before, but this black stone, it's exactly the same as her green stone. So I took it apart, painted it green with nail polish, and now it's next to the big purple stone. The necklace has now the 2 new centerpieces, a temporary purple stone and a brand new green stone. One day, I went to a different bead store and I found these big, gorgeous and cheap beads. I had to get them. But now I have to find bigger red ones. These were not the ones I got, but I found them eventually. Since I was out already, I got together with a Facebook lady who sold me these amazing pieces. But getting bigger beads means I have to undo the entire necklace and start all over again. And since they're bigger in size, I kinda have to figure out how many I'm gonna put to get the same length. Wow, it makes a big difference, but my red beads are super small now. In the meantime, I decided to work on the purple stone, so I got nail polish in different shades. I made a couple of them. I had to have options. I had to mix different shades of purple to get the right look. I ended up choosing that purple. I think it looks good. So I found the red beads, but you know what that means. I have to undo the entire necklace to put them in. I guess I'm getting used to it by now. I also ended up putting some separators. I didn't like the look of ball on ball. Now my necklace has big beads and 3 purple stones. I don't know if you noticed, but I ended up painting 2 extra ones. Remember the Facebook Market triangles? One day I was having splashes and I was like, what if I make a ring? So I ended up doing this one as a test in about 10 minutes. So I watched the tutorial and started making a better one. This one took more than 10 minutes, but I took my time making it. And now I have a beautiful looking ring. Well, actually 2 now. I began the throne with the red cushion and the gold frame. So I used one of my grandmother's pillows and turned it into a red velvet cushion. And I added the gold frame with hand stitches. Now it's time to make the white cushions. In order for that, I had to get foam. All I had to do for this one was to make a white pillowcase so it would be the back of the seat. It's sewing time. It's been a while, but I have always loved the serger. Now I have the back of the chair and the red cushion. I think it's gonna look great, to be honest. I made the bottom part too. Thing is, my mom really liked the fabric, so I had to cut it the wrong way in order to save fabric to make my mom new curtains. And there I am. I dedicated a whole day to make my mom her new curtains. I posted about this, remember? The hardest thing was to make the sitting cushion. I didn't know how to get it in the rocking chair, so I had to make a very specific pattern for this one. Wow, this was hard, but I'm glad the holes went in the right place. Now this pattern has to be very precise because the top fabric has to match the foam and the bottom fabric. It all has to line up perfectly. If I don't make it happen, I think I'm gonna quit. I can't believe it! It worked! Oh my god, I'm so happy I made it happen. Now all I need to do is paint the rocking chair gold. You may be wondering, what was the throne for? Well, it's for this photo. Now I have time to make things better, so I'm gonna start with this tooth-shaped pendant. The one that I had in the necklace was black and small, and I needed a big green one, so I sculpted about 5 of them. This is the best one I did. Moving on, I found these 2 buttons, painted them, added the stone, and added them to the necklace. Now it's time to sculpt another tooth-shaped pendant. Those holes were really hard to make. I hope when I paint it, it looks great. I never knew if the pendant was gold or silver, so I mixed the 2 colors. Actually, I ended up putting more coats and it looks so much better now than it did in this photo. Now it's time to really concentrate on the fillers that she has in between the rows of her necklace. It's quite a lot of them actually. So the purple stone was never glued to the gold base, so it was time to take it out and finally glue it together. No! An accident happened and I got glue all over the stone, the base, and my tank top. I had to start all over again. This time I made 6 stones, but these 2 were the best ones. Now I have to choose. I don't know, I really love them both. So I made my decision, and to be honest, I'm so happy for the accident because this stone is a million times better than the one I ruined. Now my necklace has the 2 new tooth-shaped pendants, the fillers, the buttons, and the beautiful purple stone. I needed a gold small table where the potion stands, so my mom's mirror was the best option. But of course, I wasn't gonna paint the mirror, just the frame. And there it is, a beautiful gold small table. Love it. I told you I'm a perfectionist, so I went back to the necklace and made sure every bit was in the right place. It's almost ready. Now all I need to do is finally close it. So from now on, it's gonna live on that mannequin until the photo shoot. And just when I thought I was done with the necklace, Facebook Market had this listing. Of course, I had to get it. I ended up using 6 pieces of this necklace on mine. It was just what I needed to get the perfect look. I painted 4 of those teardrops black, and 2 of them dark silver. In some scenes in the movie she has 2, and in other scenes she has only 1. I guess she lost 1 throughout the filming. I do pay attention to things. So I added the silver teardrops. They're next to the swan pendant at the bottom. You can see that she only has 1. When I added the black ones, I saw something I could fix, so I made a few arrangements. Now the necklace is finished, is it? It's time to start the back of the necklace with the only reference that I have. And it's done. I have to admit, this was the easiest part of the necklace. So I painted this old pair of shoes black, but they were about to break, so my friend told me if you take 3 steps in those shoes, they're gonna fall apart. And they sure did. So my super talented friend Alejandro came to the rescue and glued my shoes together. He had just finished an audition and he still came to help me, and I'll be eternally grateful for that. So here they are, my better than brand new, beautiful black shoes. So I found this old wig in my closet and I had it cut, and now it looks just like her hair. Now back to sewing, just a little bit. It's actually something for the white cushions of the rocking chair to stay in place. Now it's time to paint the rocking chair gold. Never mind, gold was too galactic, so I added some copper color to it. One day, my friend Jorge took me to his friend and we were gonna add some lighting to that potion. We didn't accomplish anything, but I ended up living with that pink paper. And now the potion looks magical. Later on, Jorge brought me lights. I tried adding them to the potion, but it didn't make the cut. I did some makeup tests. I'm not really good with makeup, but I actually love it. I'm not good with nails either. It actually took me 2.5 days to get this look. It was really hard. I actually added the lining in the skirt earlier on, but now I added hooks and snaps for it to stay that way. It looks fabulous. Love it. I even tried to add this beautiful lace to the skirt, but it also didn't make the cut. The skirt actually looked better without it. Originally, I was not gonna wear breasts, but I didn't want to not try. So I took out the silicone cups from a Jessica Rabbit dress, cut them, and put makeup on them. Now the look is complete. I know they have wrinkles, but the necklace was able to cover them all. And this is it, the last detail. I actually did the setup in the house for the photo shoot, so I was practicing a little bit. Thank you so much for watching. And now I'm gonna leave you with my favorite part of this process. Love ya.